Welcome back to Warcraft Stories. I'm your host, Teacher Lanton. Tonight, we look at Athene's power leveling 1 to 70 in one day, 19 hours played. How is it possible? How did he do it? We're going to look at every strategy, all of the stuff that I know from playing. See how I would have done it differently, how I do it, and how he did it. And we're going to challenge him to do the same thing with another character because I don't think he can do it. Welcome to Warcraft Stories. How is it possible someone can level a druid from 1 to 70 in one day played? The forums are abuzz with the news of a world-breaking record to level 70 in one day, 19 hours played. How can he do it? How is it possible? The secret may be simpler than you think. Athene, the badass from Belgium, recently made a 70 druid for his girlfriend Tanya, who is now contemplating suicide. Or so we think. But could it be done with a paladin or a priest? Tonight we challenge Athene to do the impossible. So here's what a lot of people are missing. A druid is different from every other class because it's a hybrid class and it has every possible mana bar, rage bar, energy bar. It doesn't need to stop and make water, drink water, get new equipment, because the druids are the least dependent on equipment. All they need is stats like strength, agility, stamina. They don't care about what kind of items they have because when they transform, they don't use those items. They use claws. That's the best class for power leveling if you're going to try and break a record like this, but I don't think you can do it with a paladin. Rogues and hunters, they be level pretty much better than any other class too, but not as good as a druid. I challenge a thing to do the same thing with a paladin or a priest. Power level him to 70 in a couple of days and I'll be impressed. I'm going to elaborate on the tips he gave about power leveling because I'm a big fan of Athene. His iPower philosophy is pretty much the same as my philosophy, and I think we're all pretty much doing the iPower thing with different names. Same with Crossmack and Bohem and Zen Archer and Bernetto. We're all doing the same thing out here. So I'm not knocking Athene. I think he may have planned this world record breaking run ahead of time and had a lot of things planned out. Like, say you have a team of guys. They used to do this in Diablo all the time if you want to power level somebody. Team of guys running through Baal runs, Diablo Sanctuary runs. But back in the early days, there was a Russian team and a German team that were making the first level 99 character, and they had a big race. They had whole teams, like sorceresses, that would go in ahead of time and like get Diablo down to 25% with their fucking lightning things, and then the bard would come in and just rape Diablo and then start over, and it's like maximizing your time to the most efficient possible way. So what I think Athene may have done, since he has the resources and he has a big guild, and they probably all had a bunch of characters, say at different milestones along the leveling ladder, you have like 4 or 5 guys that are all twinked out and they're all ready to do this. And say they have good blue gear and they can run you through an instance, lickety split. And they have guys like at level 19, they're going to run him through Wailing Caverns, and he's going to like breeze through it, do Wailing Caverns like 4 or 5 times really fast and just like get massive XP. Then he gets to level 30 and they can run him through RFK, the same guys, like a different bunch of guys that are all level 30 with twinked out blue gear. And level 40, you do RFD, you do fucking Scarlet Monastery like crazy, pow on it. Just running through speed runs with the guys that are like really pimped out in blue gear that don't have to stop for anything, that's rape shit. But they're not so high level that he doesn't get a good amount of speed from it. So that's one way that you could level up pretty fast. Just having a lot of resources and being really popular like that and having a bunch of friends with really good gear. Now, since the druid class doesn't have to stop and drink mana and everything, he can cast spells, like at the beginning when he's first leveling up, cast spells. And when he's running out of mana, like at level 8 or 10, whenever you get to bear form, you go into bear form and you start using your rage. You're like a warrior then. You don't need to use your mana. While you're doing your bear stuff, your mana builds back up and you transform back into your Tarn or whatever he used. He used a Night Elf. And but I'm going to give you examples from Horde point of view because that's like where I'm most familiar with leveling. So he goes back into Tarn form when his mana builds back up and he starts casting spells. And once his mana gets kind of low and he has enough to transform, he goes into cat form, like level 15-ish or 20-ish, and he starts using his feral. You start going in cat form and using your road bar, your energy bar. Claw, claw, claw. That's the best because he has to be proc for feral, because feral is the really fast way to level up with a druid. There's no way you can be like a healing spec and level up that fast. Not gonna happen. So I call you out, Athene. If you can do this with like a healing class or a mage, that would be amazing. But his tips about, not looting anything. How do you go through and not loot anything? Druids don't need the good gear, but you know, come on, you gotta loot some stuff because you have to keep your gear equivalent to the stuff you're killing because you're not going to be doing enough damage to maximize your time killing stuff. So he's probably, as he's doing these instances, he loots only the bosses that he knows drops blues, and maybe even has a bunch of BOE blues from his gang that just gives him blues and keeps equipping as he gets higher level. That's another way you can maximize your time to break a world record, like if you're really that serious about it. But for the common leveler, you're probably going to want to loot. My advice is get a shitload of bags. Shift right click when you loot, that way you automatically loot everything. You don't have to waste time looking and picking what you want to get. Just loot it all, sell all your junk in bulk if you have a bunch of grays and crap like that. Athene's first tip was don't waste time, and that's really simple, but that's the truth. Don't waste time. If you can find ways to cut down on time, you're going to level faster. A lot of people, they just sit around in town and they don't do anything for hours and they're just sitting there wasting time. But even to take it beyond another level, people, they'll do one quest. They'll go back to town, turn it in. They'll get another quest. They'll go out. They'll do that quest. They'll come back to town. They'll get another quest. They'll go back out here. They'll spend most of their time running back and forth and running to their corpse when they die. Don't die. That's another trick. But mainly, don't stay in town. Just turning in quests or getting new quests. Get all of your quests around town, then go out. And then don't come back until you have 10, 20 quests done, because they're not going anywhere. You can turn them in at any time, but you want to turn them in before they get like gray or whatever. I'm going to look at Barrens because that's like the main leveling place. So if I talk about Alliance, I have to talk about, you know, Duskwood or Red Ridge or Westfall or Locomo Den or Wetlands, or go over to the Barrens, Stone Town Mountains. It's like you have so many options with Alliance. It's like everybody does it differently, but Horde pretty much are constrained to the Barrens because you can level up to 40 or something in the Barrens without even having to ever leave it. My secret pretty much is run through the game and have like a level 60, 70 already. Memorize the quests. The key is to having a really good memory so you know where all the quests are. So you don't have to figure out, you know, looking up stuff on Thoughtbot and asking people, where do I go? Where do I go? Just know the stuff from having experience playing the game. And you can level up really super fast just from your memory. So I'm going to show you how to do all the quests in the Barrens really fast, just from my memory, and this is going to show you how geeky I am. Now, if you're a Tarn, you're going to be coming from down here, and you're going to really have to stick to the road, because it's going to be dangerous as fuck until you get to the crossroads. Now, the main thing you got to do is really know all the questing areas. We're going to identify the questing areas first. The main one here is the crossroads. If you're coming in from over here at South Three River, if you're like an orc or a troll, it's going to be like right here at Farwatch Post. There's a few quests. I don't recommend doing those because most of them are a waste of time. And there's a guy right here who gives you quests for centaur killing. There's Ratchet. Ratchet's good. Chili Dog. Hot Carl. You can give her the old Hot Carl. Here's Camp Taurajo. That's one of your main questing areas. There's a guy right here on the road, Belmo Dam. We need to level 30ish. She's got some quests for you there. Glass Bottom Boat. That's right, class. So here's your questing areas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 main areas. The lower level ones are going to be like level 12 at the crossroads, is where you're going to start out. It's going to send you in different directions. Make it a different color here. Let me get like a red. Maybe put this down a little bit lower. Now, first he's going to send you to the Forgotten Pools up here like this. So while you're going there, you want to stop off here at this guy and get his quest for killing centaurs, getting centaur bracers. All around these Forgotten Pools is a bunch of centaurs. You want to kill 12 or 20 of them. I forgot what it is, but enough to get the centaur bracers. You want to explore these Forgotten Pools. There's also a guy here that gives you a quest for killing harpies. You want to go up here to the Dry Hills. Continue on up here and kill some harpies until you complete that quest. And then you want to, if you got the quest in South Three River, you can drop by Dreadmist Peak and get that. He also gives you a quest for Plain Striders. While you're going up through here, you can kill some Plain Striders and get your Plain Strider beaks. When you come back to here to this point, you turn in the quest for the Centaur Bracers and get a new quest for another Centaur who was located about right here. So you just walk right back and kill that guy and you turn that in. You get a quest for another Centaur guy. He is located right around here. He walks around the Lushwater Oasis. I think that's the one. He may be over here, like right here. Either way, one of these Centaur guys, you come and kill him, and while you come back to the crossroads, you turn in your Plain Strider beaks. You get some zebra hooves. You want to kill some zebras like right in here on the way down to here. And he gives you the quest for the other Stagnant Oasis. I think is the next one. You got to go down here. While you're killing that Centaur guy, you check this bottom of this pool for some bubbly water. Or is it the altered snapjaw shells? No, that's later on. Mushrooms. You gotta get some mushrooms around this stagnant oasis. Pick up 4 mushrooms. And you're gonna take these dried seeds or whatever back to the guy, and you gotta go back over here to this oasis. While you're over here, you kill this other centaur guy. And in the meantime, you get a quest for some raptors, like right up in here. You're gonna kill some raptors. You get a quest for some quill boars. You get a quest for crossroads supplies, which are located right about here, here, or here, one of these locations. And you got to kill Krennic Snarlstout, the leader of the quill boars. He's like right in here guarding these things. You kill him, you get the crossroad crate. You kill like the number of quill boars that you want to kill.